Welcome along to the Scuffed Special. We are here for a few races because people apparently want to gamble for £10 gift cards, and apparently everyone's buying FIFA points. So we're going to be doing, the format's going to be easy. It's one-shot qualifying, 5-lap races across 5 races. Anyone too fast will have a worse default setup that they have to use. But there's no setups here because apparently that's the only way Jack in NUFC has a chance of winning a race, because he can't put a setup together to save his life. I don't know how it's taking people 30 seconds to ready up in qualifying when they've just got to put a default preset on. But we'll ride on board with XD Tyler here for this qualifying lap around the Zandvoort circuit. Into turn 1, Tio is obviously going to fly up the order because he has so much grip. I'm sure that's Gaffo in the wall already, Jack Newcastle in the wall already, and Fozzies and FaZe Monkey battling out at the front, but MH has found some grip there as well to put down the first sector times. As it stands, I don't know if we can see everyone on the track map. No, we can't. But FaZe Monkey taking the lead as it stands right now, and even with the forfeit setup, Tio 1969 is closing. But it's time for everyone's favourite corner, the long left, and let's watch Tio through here. Does he get understeer? Does he end up in the wall? Barely keeps it off the grass, but he is flinging that balanced preset all the way around this Zandvoort circuit. Into the bank and he goes, and he has some sort of pace towards the end of this lap. Around Zandvoort reverses, he's going to be the first one across the line. Is FaZe Monkey even close? He is, as is MH. Who's it going to be across the line? It looks like it's going to be Tio to take pole for the first race here. It's a 1:10.4 for Tio 8T, and we're already looking at some balancing issues here. But pole for everyone's favourite driver, Tio. FaZe Monkey not looking as washed as he has done in Formula Aero, because he actually has a chance when nothing can go wrong. XD Tyler's messaging saying, "Give me my setup." No, that's the whole point. We're not doing setups. Otherwise, I think Tio would have been last there. And my microphone is already falling off its tripod. This is some incredible stuff. Metal wants to join. And he can. Because he wants to try and split a £10 gift card between 2 people. How that's going to work, I don't know, because I don't know any way to obtain £5 gift cards. But we'll just wait as everyone sits on the grid, apparently putting their setups on. Again, there's no setup customization or anything. Well, we're going to be going to 5 red lights here in Zandvoort. And it's lights out and away we go. Looked like a decent start from V-Carbon pole of Tio. Second place FaZe Monkey keeping it nice, and now through the banking we're going to come. Default setups galore. FaZe Monkey looking around the outside of Tio. Into turn 1, Tio just managing to keep the lead. Jack Newcastle's falling back towards the back of the grid, but no one having any calamities on lap 1. FaZe Monkey still looking all over the back of Tio. I'm sorry, that's MH on the back of Tio right up front, as Billy Wiz has had a problem. Right down towards the back, looks like he got on the grass, and into the hairpin we go backwards. Fozzies and XD Tyler are going to be wheel to wheel, trying to battle out for that P4 spot as it stands. But Tio in the lead right now, looking very comfortable on that balanced preset, just dipping a tyre onto the grass as we go through the long left-hander. We're going to go down the grid, and MH, did he hit the wall? He managed to back out of it. But, oh god, did that look like it was going to be close. And now Tio been given the advantage out front to try and pull away from FaZe Monkey in the Ferrari. And towards the final corner, we come for the first time to start lap 2, and Tio has pulled a 9/10 advantage and will pull more. He's got less downforce on that car, less drag, but through the banking we go, and Tio with an over 1 second advantage already. But it's Zandvoort reverse. anything can happen. Billy Whizz is going to take a look at Jack Newcastle into turn 2, and that is a good move from Billy Whizz, who gets on the grass, and Jack Newcastle is now going to get a look down the inside, and Jack Newcastle, in classic fashion, backwards there. And Tio just starting to dominate a little bit here, just pulling ever so slightly away from the 2 Ferrari guys in second and third. But the question is, with this man, can he keep it together through the long left again? He's going to have the dirty air of his teammate, and he's just about held on. I think everyone looking to be holding on right now was Gaffo towards the back, looked a little bit shaky. Jack Newcastle all over the grass, but managing to keep it held together. And Tio looking very fast out front in that V-carb to keep the lead as it stands. Lucas Spurs and Fozzie's close together on track, and actually Gaffo down the inside of Lucas Spurs into the final corner, keeps it nice and clean and gets through, but the DRS is going to be enabled. Who has the higher straight line speed preset? Into turn 1, it looks like they're fairly even, and Gaffo up the inside of Fozzie's. He makes that move stick. He's up to P5 as it stands, and both Lucas Spurs and Fozzie's sliding around on the grass as Tio just continues to have the freest race of his life. And FaZe Monkey starting to fall under a little bit of pressure from his teammate. But FaZe Monkey now, Tio actually dropping back a little bit. He's kept the battery in good check. FaZe Monkey hasn't really, as everyone now looks to try and cleanly get through that corner. Gaffo again, just driver struggling with that long left. Is Jack going to do any better? He whacks his rear end against the protruding barrier. And that is why we've got Zandvoort reverse on this calendar, as Lucas Spurs clears Fozzie. But Zandvoort reverse, the one most likely to cause chaos, but no one yet really having issues in the one place you'd expect it in this turn 1, the banked fast left-hander where it's so easy just if you're wheel to wheel to make contact. FaZe Monkey on the defensive against MH now, who might be thinking about a look into the left-hander. Both of them being very respectful right now. Teammates, at least on this track, not in Formula Aero. But it's all for them to play for. Who wants that £10 gift card the most? I can tell you Tio wants it. He's actually going to get worse setups from now on, because apparently that 2-second gap isn't going to be any better, as XD Tyler off miles into the gravel manages to keep his front wing on. We do have damage enabled for this, which is why it is quite worrying to see when a driver goes flying off the track. And here, with our favourite driver, we'll just quickly make sure that FaZe Monkey's not getting overtaken. How does Jack take it this time? Ah, it's pretty nice from Jack. Keeps it all on track, and Tio out front, having it nice and easy for himself. But MH out the final corner needs to line up now as we start the final lap and move on his teammate. FaZe Monkey with not much battery, MH with a lot more. As we head down towards the first corner, he looks on the outside of his teammate, a little bit of front end contact. Now into turn 3 we come. Is he going to think about a move up the inside? He thinks better of it for now, but he's getting that car turned a lot better than his teammate is. FaZe Monkey straightening up his car. MH down towards, I think it's like turn 5, goes up the inside of FaZe Monkey, makes the move, but can he keep it? Because FaZe Monkey now with the better line through the next left-hander, and up the hill they go. Are they going to go wheel to wheel through the left-hander? No, FaZe Monkey backs out wisely, keeping himself in that race, and XD Tyler making the mistake. FaZe Monkey miles off the track there. He'll be thankful that there's no strict track limits on this track. Everyone else keeping it pretty nicely through, but Tio, for the first race here in the Formula Aero Invitational, will be taking the win. MH will come home second from FaZe Monkey, provided they can keep it straight. XD Tyler 4th, Gaffo 5th, Lucas Spurs in 6th, Fozzie's and Billy Whizz going to come across the line nose to tail for 7th and 8th respectively. And everyone's favourite meme, somehow with a full front wing, enters the final corner to still score points. It's going to be P9 for Jack Newcastle. at the end of round 1. And we are back for Monza this time. No rules, Monza, so qualifying is going to get interesting. Our forfeit setup is going to be the balanced preset for Tio, because he was just ridiculously ahead of everyone else that race. But in hopefully not 15 seconds, because, you know, you're just selecting a preset setup. We will be going racing in Monza for the first time, which it'll be interesting to see how everyone does when they can just cut the chicane. We're going to ride on board with who was our FA Championship leader, RB Gaffo, for this qualifying lap. Down the main straight at Monza, you want to keep it nice and straight the entire time. Have that DRS wide open, as into turn 1 we don't go, cutting straight through, and MH seems to have taken that the best, probably wisely decided not to hit all the screens. Through the next chicane we go, cut everything you can, try and keep your car grounded, and then it's on the brakes hard for Lesmo 1. And nice and easy through there, coax the car through Lesmo 2. You can use as much track as you want, and they seem to be nailing that pretty well. Down the back straight towards Ascari, what should be a 1, sweeping left-hander. How early does Gaffo turn in? Very early. Cut straight across the grass, probably used a little bit too much curb there, and he's used a lot of battery on this lap. You don't really harvest when you've got no rules. So into the final corner, he must go E-I-E-I-E-I-O, and Gaffo looking on target to set a good lap. MH actually quite far ahead this time around. He's been practicing his no rules Monza, and it's a 108.5 the pole time. Tio couldn't do anything. It was a 110.9 for him, a 14.5 for Is That Me. And I don't know how in no rules Fozzies has managed to do a 120. Track limits are fully off. Is That Me apparently hit the brakes at turn 1. And now it'll be interesting to see what goes on in the race. I might see if Park Ferme isn't on. Alright, Tio was like 2.5 seconds off the pace, so we're getting him we're getting him a faster setup. Fozzies didn't seem to get the memo about the no rules Monza. But the question that Is That Me is asking is probably the right one. Who is going to die first in turn 1? Well, turn 1, turn 4 maybe. You can't really tell. Apparently FaZe Monkey told Fozzies that the rules were on, but we're going to 5 red lights here in Monza, and everyone forgets that you could jump the start. MH gets a great launch followed by Billy Whiz as it's 4 wide towards turn 1, and Aston Martin in the background trying to hold it all together as we're forced on board with a few drivers. But it's MH from Billy Whiz, from Fozzies, from Gaffo, as we head down to the turn 4 chicane. I'm going to try and look back a little bit. Who cuts earliest? Who cuts latest? It is straight across, and there is a McLaren all over the road. It's Billy Whiz who's getting overtaken on the outside by his teammate Gaffo. Can't quite find that move there. The 2 Red Bulls are nose to tail, and Billy Whiz taking a very wide line. That's not what you do when you got no rules. He's lost a lot of ground there, but it's going to be MH from Fozzies, from Gaffo, from XD Tyler, from Lucas Spurs as we cut across Ascari. What a line from Gaffo. In this race, he's actually had a great exit off Ascari, and now he's going to be wheel to wheel and straight past Fozzies as we come into the final corner. In the background, FaZe Monkey is sideways and still washed as MH seems to have gone a mile wide. In the final corner, Gaffo seems to have lost places as well to his teammate Billy Whiz, but it's going to be Fozzies in the lead. There's going to be 2 cars out miles wide. That might have been Is That Me and Tio. But it's Fozzies from XD Tyler, from Gaffo, from Billy Whiz, and Gaffo shoves Billy Whiz into the grass. He hadn't got the memo whatsoever about not taking people out. Towards now the second chicane, as there's 2 drivers a mile off track, and Jack Newcastle DNFing in the no rules race. XD Tyler is now leading, and Gaffo is going to try and hang it around the outside of Fozzies. You can't hold it around the outside of Lesmo 1 through Lesmo 2, and it's contact. Fozzies losing some of his front wing. That might actually be a good strategy for once. Around here, no downforce, less drag. As in the lead, everyone's just already flying across Ascari. As we're now heading down towards the final chicane, it's 3 wide through towards Parabolica. Billy Whiz trying to look up the inside of XD Tyler and Gaffo, but Gaffo might actually appreciate not want to take the lead here, but he's pushing XD Tyler very wide, and XD Tyler is that wide. He's off the track and he's losing so many places. Contact between the 2 McLarens up front as there's a car around. That is That Me backwards on the main straight with no front wing into turn 1. Gaffo's in the wall as well, and Billy Whiz holds the lead. Gaffo falling down, and now we're getting a bit of field spread, which we didn't expect in this race. Tio has not had a good time at all this race, but Billy Whiz and XD Tyler are going to be going wheel to wheel in towards the middle chicane, and it's going to be down through the first Lesmo. Billy Whiz continuing to maintain the lead here on lap 3. MH will be following him, but actually Billy Whiz getting a little bit of a gap as RB Gaffer retiring on track there. That's unfortunate for him. He has to miss out on the second race as the contact into the wall. Again, it's the Mercedes and the Red Bull battling it out, And Billy Whiz benefiting from this hugely. As what is going on between these two, Fozzies is on the grass. They are just making contact and contact and contact. This is the dirtiest race we've ever had in Formula history. But what might not be so dirty is this battle for the lead unless Billy Whiz has the tactics nailed. Does he know how to spin someone off the rear right tyre of your car? He's just going to want to hold to the left here. MH will be using the DRS and the slipstream down towards turn 1, where they're not going to break, and MH takes the lead once again. Fozzies and XD Tyler in the background, wheel to wheel, to try and get P3 here. We're going to watch the mini-map very carefully. XD Tyler Fozzies is out. I'm sorry, I thought that was XD Tyler. I forget he's not in a Mercedes this race. But it looks like for the win, there are only 1 or 2 drivers that will do it at this point, and one of them does have wing damage. MH missing his end plate there. Billy Whiz, can he play this smart and tactical, or is he just going to go for an all-out brawl? Billy Whiz looking like he's out of battery. MH has done a great job with no rules. Kept his battery in great check. MH cuts a bit too early on Ascari, and that is going to lose him a lot of time. But it could be tactical because he's going to have that slipstream down towards turn 1. It's crucial around Monza just to have that toe and DRS on the final lap, but he's got no front end with that damaged front wing. Billy Whiz pulls to the right to break the toe, and we're going to be watching as they drive all the way down to turn 1. Who is going to hold it out in front? It looks like Billy Whiz, but there's going to be a lot of overspeed for the Ferrari, who's going to have to hang it round the outside of Parabolica. There's contact between the Ferrari and the McLaren, and Billy Whiz for now has to settle in for P2. Who's going to cut it most aggressively? MH and Billy Whiz cutting at about the same point. That's not what you want to do in no rules. And MH continues to maintain this lead for now. But for how long? Because Billy Whiz already looking up the inside of Lesmo too. But it's MH and Billy Whiz now for the win as XD Tyler and FaZe Monkey are battling it out behind. XD Tyler losing a lot of time and spinning maybe on the exit. That hairpin. Billy Whiz up the inside, makes the move stick on MH. But now it's a battery race, it's a straight line speed race, and then into Parabolica. It's who can get that car through there the best. MH and Billy Whiz, they're going to be wheel to wheel into the final corner, but MH with that wing damage can't hang it as nicely with the McLaren driver. It is going to be the win for Billy Whiz here in Monza. MH is going to come home in P2. FaZe Monkey, 3rd overall. He's going to be happy with that. P4 for XD Tyler, who takes himself out. Tio couldn't find the pace with more downforce. 6th for Is That Me. And Lucas Spurs comes home without a front wing. As we will be getting out the next drivers and the next race, so we'll be right back. And we are back, waiting for the drivers to get ready for Belgium here. It took me a moment to remember what track we're even racing because I have dropped my phone. Thank the Lord that didn't break. I've not got any sort of protection on that. We've got a few new drivers. Gaffo had to leave. Big sad. We've got Real Gomez coming in. We've got Rolfie coming in. We've got Metal in the races. They're probably not vying for the championship here, but they'll be here for the shits and giggles. Is that me is asking if Max Downforce is sabotage around Belgium? I wonder what the answer to that is with that massive Camel Straight. Well, we're going to start the lap. We're going to ride with Tio, who's got the balance preset for this lap of Belgium into turn 1, hard on the brakes. Get the car rotated in over that inside curb and then straighten the car up. As you come down towards Eau Rouge and Radion, and he is going to be holding it flat out all the way up. It's easy as you like. Kiss each curb like you'd hug your favourite grandma. And then onto the Camel Straight, shortest run that you can. Keep it towards the left-hand side to prepare yourself for Les Combes. And he's going to take it nicely over both curbs. He's got the advantage here. He's got the downforce now. And gets it nicely through Les Combes and now down towards Malbany. Keeps it nice and tight through there and then just try and get that power down as best you can. And then flick it through the left of what used to be No Name. Now I think it's Fangio or something. I don't know, but it's now down towards Pouin. Flat as you like on the balance preset in an equal car. And then you just got to straighten it up as you get now hard on the brakes towards the next 2 corners. It's very hard to get your car straightened up out of there, but Tio has done it beautifully on this balance preset. Now take it over the curb and then straighten up, foot flat to the floor now as we're going to head down towards the final chicane here in Spa. And Tio looks to be a mile out in front and no one has caught him yet. Rolfie has retired from the session. Lucas Spurs has gained a few places as FaZe Monkey, dropping down quite substantially towards the final couple of corners. And Tio was the right guy to ride on board with apparently, because he is going to set the benchmark. What is the benchmark? It's a 44.3 and look at how quick the time's coming after that. What a lap by Tio to take himself to P1. But how much is he going to struggle on lap 1? Only a 10th in it. They're not even to Lucas Spurs. And I think his words in the Discord are right. He is incredible. Setting the time down as you like. I think Is That Me did go Max Downforce. Because he ended up 3.1 off the 3.1 off the pace, and even Jack Newcastle asking, "Did you believe me?" he took Max Downforce at Spa. The scenes, the absolute scenes of the Max Downforce around Spa-Francorchamps. It's a real shame that Tio's going to have to deal with some pain when we get to Silverstone, because he's going to be taking Max Downforce around in a min or increased top speed downforce circuit. But his advantage will be that it's full wet for our next race. But we're just waiting because apparently everyone has to take 30 seconds to, I don't know, change their setup or something on preset only. But we're going to go to 5 red lights here in Belgium. Tio on the left, Lucas Spurs on the right. Fozzies has jumped the start thinking it's still no rules. It's lights out and away we go. And Fozzies instantly takes the lead down towards turn 1. But he is going to have to serve that drive-through penalty. MH takes P2 net. And in the background, there's a couple drivers off the track. Might be XD Tyler and Real Gomez. As down towards Eau Rouge and Radion we go. Fozzie's lead from Tio, from MH, from FaZe Monkey. And it looked like it was wheel to wheel between the 2 Ferraris there. It is 3 wide down the Camel Straight as Tio is going to start falling backwards. There's a car off in the back. Jack Newcastle is out. One of the Ferraris was completely off the track and they're still battling it out through Les Combes. And now this is where Tio might be able to fight back, use the downforce on his setup. Is he going to dive up the inside of Malbany? He's trying to. It's ghosting between him and Lucas Spurs, so maybe a chance here as the two Astons are wheel to wheel for Tio to get himself back up to P3, and he has done successfully. But now down towards Pouon. They're still inside each other, but Pouon easy flat for Tio, and he takes back net P2 in this race behind FaZe Monkey, and he's got to really attack now. The next couple of corners to get himself on the back of FaZe Monkey, but he doesn't seem to be able to do anything as it stands. The two McLarens of Metal Metal and Billy Wiz battling out a little bit further back, and Fozzie's making an error on that exit and giving Tio actually a beautiful tow, as Tio is now going to go up the inside and chase after his rival in FaZe Monkey, who's in a really good spot. We lose Jack Newcastle now. Fozzie's has also left the session, but that might just be a disconnect. As we start the second lap, it's going to be FaZe Monkey from Lucas Spurs from Tio, as Tio seems to have had a few issues there. Through turn one we go, taking it nicely. Tio getting on that curb on the exit, so losing a lot of time already when you need to be able to gain everything you can. FaZe Monkey the first throw of Rouge. Aston Martin of Rolfie a little bit slow there. Has he been disqualified from the session? He has. In a 5-lap race, Rolfie has what? How has he disqualified himself from a 5-lap race? Anyway, down the hill, it's still FaZe Monkey from Lucas from Tio from MH now. And it looks like FaZe Monkey has finally cleaned himself up and started to try and pull some gap here. He needs to find some pace, and maybe if he wins this, his confidence will be back for the real season, because he's not really doing anything there. Tio's all over the back of Lucas Spurs, but this middle sector is where it's just going to drag on for a little bit before we get on to the real juicy stuff. As we head down towards the back end of the track, Jack Newcastle has disconnected, so we'll get him back in as soon as possible. Rolfie leaving the session. Don't know if he just disconnected or rage quit his disqualification. And as he leaves, Jack asks for a re-invite. Not ideal for him. Onto the main straight, though. FaZe Monkey keeping about a 7/10 gap to Lucas Spurs, but that is going to fall into turn one. Lucas Spurs, a very good driver on his day, the fastest in FA2 by far in the last time he raced. There and down the hill now towards Eau Rouge and Radion. It is closing speed galore for Lucas Spurs as we go on board. And we can even look behind to see MH trying to take a look. We actually should go off board here and watch from the overhead cameras. There are 4 drivers nose to tail behind Tio, and Tio might lose some places here. Fozzie's is trying. Lucas Spurs is trying to take the lead. MH is off the track. Metal Metal is off the track. FaZe Monkey is backwards and in the wall. The scenes here in Belgium. FaZe Monkey leading, losing everything he can, but now Tio is going to try and fight MH tooth and nail in the one sector of the track that he can, to try and gain some places back here. And we're looking down the hill now. Tio can stick right to the back of him with that extra downforce, but is that going to matter? It's going to have to be a stunning move from Tio to try and take this lead. Lucas Spurs seems to have it in the bag, unless MH has some miraculous pace towards the end of the lap to try and get himself into DRS of Lucas Spurs, who surely used a lot of battery to clear his sparring partner in FaZe Monkey. Lucas Spurs burning the battery down. There is a lot more battery in that Ferrari. Not so much in Tio's car or Billy Wiz's car, so actually Metal Metal might make up a few places on this final lap, looking the best on the battery in this top few as we come through the final chicane. Can MH please not be on an onboard F1 game? As we start the next lap, somehow FaZe Monkey is right next to Fozzie's disconnected car. And into turn one we go. Tio looking up the inside of FaZe Monkey, of MH. Is this the smartest move from him, trying to make the move before we even get onto the straight? He stays just behind to get DRS, and now up through Eau Rouge and Radion. And onto the Camel Straight. He's going to be under so much pressure from behind. But can he use that to push him forward and send him past MH? He's going to have to dive up the inside, defends from Metal Metal. There is contact, and Billy Whizzer is backwards, and the other McLaren of Metal Metal off into the gravel. This is not what either of them needed as they come through for this very interesting race. And now Tio, with that lead over MH, needs to start pulling a decent gap and realistically needs to find another second in this middle sector over the next driver ahead of him, being Lucas Spurs, just to really put himself into any sort of contention for this win. But in doing that, he also needs to pull away from the Ferrari behind the two McLarens, struggling along now. It's unfortunate for them, as they made some pretty awkward contact. But now we come on to the back straight. Tio has managed to close a little bit to Lucas, but he's not managed to close enough to get that DRS. But more crucially, he has pulled from MH, who seems to be draining some battery here, and he's closed right back into DRS. He is all over the back of the V-Carb now, who takes a much better line through the final corner. But that won't matter too much. DRS is now enabled, as I'm sure our stream looks like absolute crap right now. Enter turn one on the brakes. MH locking up and making contact with the back of Tio's car. And Tio, is he going tactical? He might be. But no, MH is slowing down too. And this has let Billy Whiz in on the fight with the overspeed. They both try to go tactical. Tio fails at it. MH put under immense pressure now from the McLaren behind. It's going to be three-way battle for P2 as Lucas Spurs has already checked out of this race. A really aggressive defense from Tio, who can't quite keep the position over MH, but can over Billy Whiz. I think he was a little bit off the track there. Metal Metal picking up a 3-second time penalty for God knows what in this race. And Tio is going to dive it up the inside of Albany. Can he keep the position? Or will MH have the grip and have the downforce to take the position back? He seems to for now. But towards Pouhon they go. MH needs to defend from Tio, who's trying to look up the inside. That looked like there was a little bit of contact. Tio a little bit sideways, but now MH needs to defend like a lion. Tio again trying to take a look at MH. Can't quite make the move stick, but the downforce on that V-Carb is doing absolutely everything from here on the final lap. Out of Stabilo they come now, and towards Blanchimont and the bus stop. It is going to be a battery race. It's going to be who has the better straight line at the end of the day, and MH seems to be doing that for now. But what can Tio do? That extra drag, the extra downforce might be able to help him. He's losing time even in the tow. But can he, into the bus stop, make a dive bomb? He decides against it, but there's massive contact as it looks like Metal Metal has ploughed into them. And that has allowed XD Tyler from nowhere to take the win, to take P2. But that was before penalties. It's going to be Lucas Spurs earning. Tio 8T second, Billy Whiz third, MH ends up fourth, and Real Gomez fifth. I don't know what happened into that final chicane. I am sure I will get a clip of it. And if I do, I might just show you guys on stream, because someone went flying there. MH in the chat already saying, bro. But I think we might have had a wild couple of missiles in a Red Bull and the McLaren outfit, demolishing everyone else's race to give better chances to their teammates. But Tio in P2 with Lucas Spurs winning. I almost forgot that wasn't a V-Carb for a second, because yeah, apparently everyone wants that Red Bull white livery, including me. I've already got it. But we'll be back after a short break for the next race around Silverstone. And for any of you racing and watching, it is full wet. And this is the scenes. We have full wet Silverstone with the rules. I think it's going to be interesting to see who can do what. But it's time to see who's going to dominate around wet Silverstone. Tio actually has a small advantage, which is why we're going to ride on board with him for qualifying, because he has the maximum downforce preset, which means turn 1, it's wet, but it's fully flat. Turn 2, easy flat. Turn 3, braking at your normal dry braking point. Gets the power down. Through turn 4, he's going to just be able to get the power down. And he's got a little bit of a gap over FaZe Monkey as it stands. But down these straights, this is where he's going to struggle just that little bit, but I might have actually just made life 10 times easier for him. He's barely second as we end the first sector, but Tio, with all the downforce through Luffield now and past the British Racing Club, is going to be flying. And now down the old start-finish straight towards Copse Corner. I do wonder, is he going to try it? He's not. But I did wonder for a second, how the hell is MH in first? I did wonder for a second if he was going to be able to take that flat. He's definitely taken the first 2 parts of Max and Beckett's flat, the first 3 parts, and it's a lift in the fourth. How has he done that? I think should be the question, but he's been a lot of battery so far this lap. So he's running out of deploy now, which is going to be really harmful for him with all the extra downforce he has on the car, and he's going a little bit deep there through Stowe Corner. The full wet conditions suiting the setup but not suiting his driving, and into the final corner we go. Holds it quite nicely through the first apex, and now he's just waiting for the power to be able to get down. And he's going to come across the line. It's pole, and it's by a long shot. How, in the name of all that is holy, did he do that? Because he's just got him pole on what was supposed to be the worst setup by 9/10 of a second. I would love to know how in God's name he's managed to do that. And this might be an issue in the race, because Tio might just go and outright win this. He's miles in front. Let's... yes, there was a lot of time loss for MH in the final sector. But still, it looks like those two are going to be the only ones who might just be able to challenge for this race. We're going to really quickly maybe fix the stream, if it will let me pause. Because I'm pretty sure we're getting a few minor frame drops. Because I didn't change my settings. And also I'm locked to 39 FPS. 59 FPS, not 31. Okay. But now, Tio. Okay, I'm getting a screenshot there. That's 5 red lights, though. It's going to be lights out, and away we go. Who's going to get the best start here? Surely it's someone without traction control, but Tio, even with the traction control, leads into turn 1. He's got it flat out easily. XD Tyler is already a mile wide, and there is 2 cars 3 decades off the circuit. XD Tyler with a massive penalty was up to P2 momentarily, but now MH is going to look for the switchback against his V-Carb rival for the £10 gift card. Down the back straight we're going to come. The Hangar straight, or the Wellington straight, that's the one, as MH now is going to look to the outside of Tio, and can he take the lead? He's just a little bit too wide, and that has lost him more grip, and now FaZe Monkey might have a chance to do something. Jack Newcastle has gained off the start, and XD Tyler and Fozzie's looking like they're trying to go wheel-to-wheel contact between the two of them. XD Tyler goes a little bit sideways, and then flies 2 miles wide, so loses out now Up in front, though, it's TO8T from MH, from FaZe Monkey. I don't think any of them have realised that it's not on strict corner cutting. And MH might have, because he just cut that like an absolute bus. And FaZe Monkey taking the best line out of the three of them up front. Through Maggots and Beckett's as Lucas Spurs has gained back on Fozzie's. Through Maggots and Beckett's, but this top three is storming away. And Tio needs to find something to do. Needs to find something to do since nothing else seems to be happening for him. A little bit of contact heard just to our right there. At least according to my headphones. But nothing quite happening towards the back yet. Actually, it's the two Red Bulls wheel to wheel in the final chicane. And out of club corner is XD Tyler. Gonna have a look at his teammate. Obviously Tyler with a penalty for whatever the hell he did on the first lap. Into turn one they go. XD Tyler taking a slightly wider line. And can't quite stick to him. MH now needing to find a way back up to Tio. It's a lot harder in the full wet to make an overtake, but XD Tyler's got past his teammate. But what can the two Ferraris do against... I should have really given him minimum downforce. I told him maximum, and apparently this is just the strat. He's just making it work and driving away. And might be driving away with MH's chances of getting a £10 gift card here. Because he's just pulled 3/10 in a corner. XD Tyler and Fozzies are still battling it out. And Lucas Spurs in all of that as well, losing out a little bit. The three people nose to tail now. Towards Cop's corner. Oh no, Fozzies. Oh, actually no, never mind. The last time Mercedes tried to go up the inside of a Red Bull into there, it didn't go so well. But apparently Fozzies isn't Lewis Hamilton. Through Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, whatever the corners are called. Lucas Spurs is stuck right to the back of Fozzies, who's now backwards. That's how we do it. Fozzies backwards. Fozzies no longer in good spot. Fozzies is washed. There's a lot of changing of positions going on up ahead. Jack Newcastle taking a quasi-karting line, and there's contact there. Billy Wiz and Real Gomez into the wall. Real Gomez is out. That is unfortunate for him. Wheel hooking, sending them both into the wall, and Real Gomez coming off a lot worse. Tio, fastest lap, and I really didn't make a good call on this. I didn't think it would be this bad. I thought maximum downforce, oh, he's going to gain a little bit in the corners, and then he's just going to lose everything on the straights. No, apparently he's gaining everything in the corners, and then still just not losing enough on the straights. He's gaining to MH on the straight. What's going on? Is he not running max downforce? Surely not. Look, because his straight lines looked about right. Are they all running max downforce? FaZe Monkey taking the right line through there. I just don't know how he's that fast. Did everyone take max downforce? Let's look on the straight now. At the straight line speed for these guys. They might have just all taken very high downforce setups here. And I can't be blamed for that. But no one may be realizing that, you know, the setups I gave for Tio to use aren't the best setups. Because Tio's just still pulling away. He didn't go purple this lap somehow. But lap 4, just nothing's going on out in front. It's all for P2. And FaZe Monkey, I don't know what the standings are. We can't actually check them mid-session. As Billy Wiz and Real Gomez have had an incident. And they're both off the track. But I don't think FaZe Monkey can win this gift card right now, realistically. There's only 10 drivers in the lobby, and there's 10 people. Which means it's highly unlikely, because everyone's going to score points. MH sets the fastest first sector, but that's kind of a consolation prize right now, as Fozzie's is just a decade out in front with nothing to do. Billy Whiz is just trying to take out real Fozzie's at this point. You know, I thought this was everyone's going to be nice to each other. No, apparently it's Wet Silverstone and everyone hates it. But MH is really trying to push on right now. I think his Wet's slightly overheating, not as much as Fozzie's, it seems. Tio, sorry, it seems. Billy Whiz disqualified from the session, as per. You know, it's not like rules are on or anything. That's back-to-back races now where we've had people getting disqualified. You know, this it's all for fun though. Billy Whiz apparently retires before he gets disqualified. But Tio looking happy as anything right now. He's in the lead, he's winning by a mile. He might do a challenge run. Somehow XD Tyler's come out of nowhere. Did he just get like a massive penalty or something? I don't know how he... XD Tyler has 26 seconds of time penalties. Got it. So he's just in the mix right now. Maybe trying to help Tio get that £10 gift card off of MH. But he's trying to block the Ron Ferrari right now. XD Tyler is going to try and finish on this podium. Well, I don't think XD Tyler will keep that podium after everything. MH just doesn't have the pace right now, and FaZe Monkey now has to race someone who has 26 seconds of time penalties, and FaZe Monkey is terrified of what XD Tyler might do to him. Because FaZe Monkey all over the world, trying to make sure XD Tyler doesn't take him out. And now it's really all up to Vegas as to who's going to get the £10 gift card. TO8T or MH look like the only two people who might get it, because XD Tyler, well, hasn't really had a good one in the past couple. And I'll tell you this, TO8T is not getting minimum downforce at Vegas, because he is the only person who has needed the challenge, and somehow when I try and screw him over, he's just gone and dominated the race anyway. So we're watching MH, but we really should be watching Tio. As XD Tyler, oh, that's what he's doing. He's trying to help Lucas. And Lucas is there because FaZe Monkey retires. XD Tyler might be disqualified. Tio wins, but we were focusing on something else. Lucas Spurs is going to get P3. Metal P4. Jack Newcastle P5. What a result for him. Now, having never scored in an officially sanctioned FA race, he finally scores in an unofficial FA race, because this doesn't even count for regular championship points. It counts for a £10 gift card. Or 10 of your respective currency. If we're talking about Tio the Italian, who uses euros. But as we wait for Fozzie's to finish his lap, he's gone and spun. We will be right back for the final race, and I'm going to give Tio maximum downforce at Vegas. Very late start, welcome back. We're going to be on board with Jack NUFC apparently for this lap. I was a bit late, I was trying to show everyone that, you know, XD Tyler was on top of Billy Wiz in that final run. And how in God's name is Tio winning? He's on balanced preset. He is on balanced preset. What is he doing? He's not burnt like stupid amounts of battery as anyone else. Fozzie's has burnt more and Tio is still somehow winning. He's meant to be on balanced preset here and it looks balanced. Oh, Fozzie's takes the lead. Okay. This is encouraging, but MH is nowhere, so Tio might still win this gift card. Because somehow he is just that much better than everyone else on this grid, and maximum downforce is now seeming a little bit more reasonable. Fozzie's takes back the lead momentarily, but no, he didn't end up in the wall. I thought he did. Okay, on board with Tio. Do you know what? We're going to go off board. We're going to watch him fly down the strip. Just somehow has more straight line speed than half the grid combined. But why is just everyone using balance preset? Tio takes back the lead and probably has this qualifying in the bag unless FaZe Monkey can do something. And maybe MH. MH gets P2, he's up to first. Tio is second. Lucas Spurs at the last second takes the top of the board. And that was very close. That was very, very close between everyone there. Lucas Spurs on pole by a 10th over MH by not even a 10th over... How the hell is Tio doing this? Vegas is 0-0 wings. And on 23-23, he is P3. What is this? How? What is how? I'm just that confused about why in God's name Tio manages to win this. But we'll be waiting for the race. While we wait, you know, might as well give you the classic picture. XD Tyler jumping over Billy Wiz at the final corner in Belgium. Because that's apparently how the race goes. But we'll just wait now as everyone is apparently doing their setups when Parc Ferme is on and you can only use a preset setup anyway. But we will wait for everyone to be prepared. We hear the dings, which means there's 10 seconds left. So I think it's just arguments about random stuff somewhere else that I can't see. But we'll be getting ready for 5 red lights here in a moment. It's Lucas Spurs on pole, MH in second, Tio in third. MH needs to win and Tio can't. In this race, it's lights out and away we go. MH ghosted for a second, and it looks like Tio got the better start out of the two of them. Into turn 1 we go. Tio can't quite find a position on MH, but is he going to look down the inside? No, he's not. He's not found anything. Lucas Spurs leads from Tio, from FaZe, from Metal Mel, from Billy Wiz, from Fozzie's, from Real Gomez and XD Tyler and Jack Newcastle. Real Gomez in the wall already. That's not what he needed. MH now on the outside of Lucas Spurs, trying to get this move to stick. Needs this move to stick. He takes the lead. Can Tio take it back? He can. He's down the inside. He's very deep. Indeed, somehow not a penalty for him there. Billy Wiz picked up a penalty. Somehow on regular track limits, but it's Tio from MH, from Lucas Spurs, from FaZe Monkey. Real Gomez is out of the race. XD Tyler is in 9th right now, a mile off the back of everyone. Lucas Spurs is looking up the inside of MH. Is he going to go up the inside of Tio2? They're 3 wide. There's contact between MH and Lucas Spurs comes off worse, but the toe now down the Raffles Boulevard. No, that's fucking Singapore. Down the Vegas Strip. That's what it's called. Lucas Spurs takes P2 for now. Tio is going to drop back a little bit, but somehow MH isn't getting ahead. What is going on here? Tio on the brakes manages to make something stick. MH having to ghost down. Tio in the wall. And that looks like damage to his front wing. So Lucas Spurs leads from MH. From Tio, from MH, from FaZe Monkey, but Tio with that wing damage now is going to struggle. Tio looking to the inside of turn 1, having to defend from MH here. Billy Wiz is up to 4th, now back down to 5th as he's trying to fight With MH's yellow flag in the background as someone's pulled into the pits, maybe. No, it's just someone slow. Thoughts on that? But FaZe Monkey in P2, Billy Wiz P3, MH P4, Tio P5, and Lucas Spurs has pulled that 1 second gap they needed. Billy Wiz on a late charge here, up to P2. Can't hold it though, he was too deep into the corner, and FaZe Monkey takes the position back and needs to start working his way back into the DRS of Lucas Spurs, abusing the track limits here. As Billy Wiz and MH were wheel to wheel momentarily, but MH not able to make the move stick. Needs to make a move stick though. He needs to win this race, and realistically he wants Tio to be about where he is right now. Fozzie's is backwards at the dome, but through the left-hander onto the strip. Billy Wiz with a poor exit. FaZe Monkey didn't get a great one, but he's within DRS. He'll be able to get that lovely little advantage there, and he's pulling, more crucially for his teammate, away from Billy Wiz, and able to maybe make something happen. So we go down the Vegas strip. It's nothing for FaZe Monkey. What can MH do? We're going to watch him now through the left and right. Can't make the move stick. Billy Wiz keeping the position as it stands, but it's going to be a drag race now down towards turn 1. Billy Wiz falling away a little bit here from FaZe Monkey, and MH and Billy Wiz are still going to be side by side as they head down towards turn 1. MH up the inside, making the move, maybe stick, but no, Billy Wiz coming back again. And this is really hurting MH's chances of a £10 gift card. He is not going to be happy about this. And MH doesn't get the DRS on his teammate, which will be a free move for Billy Wiz as up front. FaZe Monkey all over the back of Lucas Spurs, who defends very late from FaZe Monkey. But now it's all closing back up. The top 5 all within about 2 seconds of each other right now as MH dives up the inside of the chicane at the dome. Can he finally make this move stick on Billy Wiz? It looks like he might have. And on the exit, he finally gets ahead of that McLaren driver. A thorn in his side. And the McLaren driver, I can't tell because of these camera settings yet, has burnt a lot more battery to do this. And Tio, more crucially, is falling away a little bit at the back of this train. It's very much not what he needed. But Lucas Spurs now under immense pressure. He's got 4 drivers within about 7/10 of him, and you can quite easily around here make a move from within 4/10 behind. FaZe Monkey is going to be the first to take a look, and he's going to go around the outside. Can he hang it against the Red Bull driver who clatters over the curb? And FaZe Monkey does take the position for now. MH still third, but Billy Wiz with a much better exit off the chicane onto the main straight and passing the paddock club that cost like millions or something to make. Metal retires from the session, unfortunately, and in the wall, Billy Wiz just before turn 1, and Billy really aggressive right now. Can't get the traction out of turn 1 though, and MH still maintains that P3 position. He needs to find a little bit more though. And Lucas Spurs on FaZe Monkey. If this ends in tears, then it might be tears for MH. As FaZe Monkey is up the inside, Lucas Spurs makes a little bit of contact, but nothing egregious. And they are going to still be fighting wheel to wheel through the dome of the upside down pig. And it's still going to be wheel to wheel as we come through now onto the long back straight. MH with a much better exit than his teammate. Is FaZe Monkey just going to give up the position? I think knowingly does. Knowing his teammate doesn't really have an opportunity right now. Knowing he doesn't have the opportunity to the gift card, tries to help his teammate. Billy Wiz puts FaZe Monkey in the wall. And FaZe Monkey is backwards without a front wing and retires from the session. This, I said if it ended in tears, something might happen like this. And Lucas Spurs is extremely low on the battery. He's got 12% and a lot more for MH as we come towards this final lap now. MH wanting this gift card desperately from Tio. Needs to be able to pull here, and he's pulled 8/10 already. He's going to be burning the battery, draining whatever he has to lap down XD Tyler there. Just driving around very slowly, and right now, MH has that 1 second gap over Lucas Spurs. This could be it now. This could be the gift card for MH if he's got enough points. I don't know what the gap is exactly. It might be a tie game here, unless Lucas Spurs can miraculously Actually, Lucas Spurs might be able to give up the position to Tio here, but that's not how we want this to be decided. Lucas Spurs looking very slow though right now because of this lack of battery. Somehow, his teammate XD Tyler keeping up with all these guys. MH has darted now. That is definitely it done. The deal done on the win for MH. He has done everything he can today. FaZe Monkey, unfortunately, out of the race from the hands of Billy Wiz. But now it's all down to this final straight. Tio is within DRS range of a driver. XD Tyler sending it wide into that corner, losing out quite a bit. Now it's about who has the battery. Tio has a little bit. Lucas has charged. Lucas with enough battery right now to keep that P3. So that should be it. MH has driven a fantastic race and has driven a fantastic time. It's now all about the gift card. I wouldn't do that weaving too early, MH. You might end up in a barrier. He wins in Vegas. It's Billy Wiz second. Lucas Spurs just about third, but Billy Wiz with a penalty. I forgot about that. That could be tears for MH as our last driver to cross the line is going to be Jack Newcastle without a front wing. Just still sending that car around this Las Vegas circuit. Cutting that corner quite nicely, actually. I do approve. Absolutely clonking the wall, though. And is he going to finish, or is he going to pull a Sunny Haze? He has decided he is going to finish and not pull a Sunny Haze. So that is it for this little Christmas special. We will be back in about a week's time when we do restart the Formula Aero season officially, I believe. It is a week's time, right? Let me do the calendar real quick. Let me see. Is it next week? It is next week. A week today, we will have round 6 around Silverstone Reverse. But for the standings, by 2 points, Tio wins the gift card. And it is a Assalamu alaikum to him. Al Mercedes. And unfortunately, I think if Billy Wiz didn't take out FaZe Monkey, that would have been the difference. It was held right down to the line, but those 3 extra points that Tio gained means the gap is 2 points in his favour. Last round of the series, and he has done it. So congratulations to Tio. MH will be inconsolable after that. But I will leave you on this picture, and we'll see you in a week's time. What will be an actual race and not just an absolute crap hole of everyone making stupid moves. Well, hopefully. I mean, turn 1 at Silverstone versus hard. But